Can modern AI actually maintain code over time? A new benchmark just dropped an uncomfortable answer, and it's not what Silicon Valley wants you to hear. Last Friday, researcher Gabe Orlansky's team at UW Madison released SlopCodeBench, a benchmark that does something almost every other code evaluation fails to do. It watches how models degrade over time. Most benchmarks dump the entire problem upfront, then measure how fast the AI solves it. Real software doesn't work that way. Real codebases evolve. Requirements change mid-build. You discover edge cases after the architecture is locked in. SlopCodeBench mimics that reality. It starts with a simple spec, then evolves it checkpoint by checkpoint. The model doesn't know the future specs exist. It has to adapt incrementally without breaking what came before. No AI has cracked it cleanly. And here's what's wild. Claude's Opus 5. The absolute latest frontier model scored 24% strict pass rate on a subset of the benchmark. That sounds like a win. It beat the previous record of 17%. But Opus 5 still failed all 3 challenges by the end. It never reached the final checkpoint with 0 defects. Nothing did. That's the brutal signal SlopCodeBench gives us. Modern AI can't actually run the show unattended. This is the test that changes everything. To understand why SlopCodeBench matters, you need to see what's broken about every other code benchmark out there. Benchmarks like SWEBench are solid tools. They measure how well an AI can solve a programming problem in isolation. Drop a codebase on the model, point at a bug, it fixes it. Clean, measurable, done in 15 minutes. But software engineering in the real world doesn't look like that. You're not fixing one bug in a vacuum. You're building features iteratively. New requirements land mid-project. The design you locked in 3 checkpoints ago starts fighting the features you're adding now. Traditional benchmarks never test for that. Gabe Orlansky's lab at UW Madison spotted the gap and built SlopCodeBench specifically to measure it. Instead of presenting the whole problem upfront, SlopCodeBench reveals new requirements at each checkpoint. Checkpoint 1 is build a circuit validator. Checkpoint 2 is add evaluation. Checkpoint 3 is now signals of vectors. Checkpoint 4 is by the way, 3-valued logic. Every new checkpoint builds on the previous code. If the model breaks something in checkpoint 3, that broken code stays in the codebase for checkpoints 4 through 8. The model has to adapt without regressing. It's the first benchmark that tests for something that matters. Can AI maintain a codebase over time without watching it degrade into unmaintainability? The test ran 3 separate coding challenges across 17 total checkpoints. Circuit eval was the easy one, 8 checkpoints of building a circuit simulator from scratch. First checkpoint, write a CLI that passes circuit files and validates them. Checkpoint 2, add an eval command that runs circuits with inputs and produces outputs. Checkpoint 3, upgrade those signals from single bits into 8-bit vectors. Then it escalates, 3-valued logic. New file formats, analysis commands, a full circuit optimizer by checkpoint 8. Database migration was medium difficulty, 5 checkpoints focused on SQL database transformations. Start with schema migrations, add data transformations, then foreign keys and indexes, then rollback capability, then dependency resolution. The hard challenge, a dynamic config service with a REST API. Start simple with versioned config objects, then add schema validation, then change management with review workflows, then policy enforcement. By the time you hit checkpoint 4, the codebase is genuinely complex. Each new checkpoint doesn't just add features, it forces the model to refactor inherited code to support the new requirements. There's no clean separation. The old code has to bend. This is what separates SlopCodeBench from every other test. Most benchmarks never force this kind of architectural reckoning. You build in isolation. Here, you're retrofitting constantly. So here's how the test went down. A researcher ran Opus 5, Opus 4.8, and Sonnet 5 through all 3 challenges, 17 checkpoints total, with 1 fresh Claude model for each checkpoint. Every model got the same prompts and the same amount of context. They're all being graded on strict pass. Did the code pass all the old tests and all the new tests? For the first challenge, circuit eval, Opus 5 dominated the early going. It nailed the first 3 checkpoints perfectly, no defects, no regressions. By checkpoint 4 and 5, it slipped, each picked up at least 1 defect. A defect means the model failed a test case, and once a defect lands in the codebase, it carries forward. Unless the model accidentally fixes it later, every subsequent checkpoint fails strict pass. Opus 4.8 was worse. It accumulated defects like rust accumulating on old metal, ending up with 10 failures by checkpoint 8. Sonnet 5 surprisingly stayed flat, not really progressing, but also not degrading catastrophically. But here's the thing, none of them made it. Not one model reached checkpoint 8 of any challenge with everything still passing. And when a model can't pass a checkpoint, every checkpoint after it is unreachable. The test doesn't forgive. It measures exactly what real software does. Breaking things breaks everything downstream. So when the dust settled, Opus 5 won on the scoreboard. 24% strict pass rate, 4 checkpoints across all 3 challenges where everything still passed. Opus 4.8 and Sonnet 5 tied at 6%, 1 strict pass each, both on the same database migration checkpoint. On paper, Opus 5 crushed them. 24% beats 17% beats 11%, right? Except here's where it gets uncomfortable. Opus 5 didn't just solve the problems differently, it solved them verbosely. We are talking massive volume. While Opus 4.8 and Sonnet 5 each wrote around 9,000 lines of code across all challenges, Opus 5 generated 29,000 lines. That's 3 times more code, 5 times more functions. The kicker, most of that extra code was tests, which shouldn't count as a win. It's like Opus 5 was compensating for its uncertainty by writing obsessive test coverage. The production code itself was 1.8 times bigger. And you know what? That extra verbosity didn't translate to better results. Opus 5 still failed every challenge by the end. Extra code didn't prevent defects from accumulating. That's the real story here. More code, same failure rate. That's not progress. That's a model that's gotten better at hedging its bets, not at solving problems. But here's where it gets genuinely interesting. The benchmark doesn't just grade on pass-fail. It measures code quality across 41 different metrics, and they tell a story that should terrify anyone betting the farm on unattended AI engineers. Every model, without exception, got worse at code quality over time. Cyclomatic complexity, a measure of how twisted and hard to follow the code is, rose with every checkpoint for every model. Opus 4.8's most complex function hit a cyclomatic complexity of 93 by the end. 93. For context, anything above 10 is considered difficult to maintain. The code Opus 4.8 produced was literally 10 times more complex than maintainable baseline. Verbosity, the percentage of code flagged as unnecessarily wordy, climbed from about 65% at checkpoint 1 to 80% by checkpoint 8. On every model. The code is actually getting sloppier as the challenges got harder. Duplication skyrocketed. Opus 4.8 went from 4.6% of the code being cloned to 16.8%. Opus 5 stayed flatter, which might sound like a win, but it achieved that by writing way more code overall, so same absolute duplication, just spread across more files. The fundamental signal is unmistakable. As requirements pile up, models don't refactor and clean. They add complexity. And when we applied the same rule set to real production-type script code, Opus 5 solutions had 11 times more code quality violations per 1,000 lines than actual human-reviewed code. That's the alarming gap. You might ask, why does any of this matter? SlopCodeBench isn't the only code benchmark out there. What makes it different? The answer is that it's designed to measure something no other test does, whether an AI can maintain a codebase over time without degrading it into unmaintainability. Traditional benchmarks like SlopCodeBench measure single problem solving. You're given a broken codebase, fix it, done. SlopCodeBench measures something harder, iterative feature development in a growing codebase. Each checkpoint is like a real sprint. New features land, old code needs to bend to support them, and everything that broke in the previous sprint still breaks now. It's cumulative. That's how real software fails. A model makes a mistake in month 1, month 2's feature builds on top of that mistake, month 3's feature compounds it. And by month 4, the codebase is unmaintainable because nobody actually fixed the root problem. SlopCodeBench forces models to face that reality. You can't erase your past mistakes. They carry forward. And if you break something, it haunts every checkpoint after. The researcher who designed this, Gabe Orlansky, created the perfect test for the question everyone's actually asking. Can I trust an AI to run my engineering team lights off, not solve one problem perfectly? Maintain a code base over time through changing requirements without things falling apart. That's the real test of engineering competency. So here's what SlopCodeBench is telling us, and it's uncomfortable. Every frontier model, Opus 5, Opus 4.8, Sonnet 5, failed to maintain a single codebase cleanly over time. Not one made it to the final checkpoint with 0 defects. Opus 5 did the best, but that was partly because it wrote 3 times more code and compensated with obsessive test coverage. Neither of those are features. That's not shipping-ready software engineering. It's hedging. The researchers' conclusion was pretty blunt. For real-shaped software engineering work, building one issue at a time with changing requirements, today's models can't be relied on to run lights off without steering. Which doesn't mean AI engineers are useless. It means they are junior engineers that need a senior review. They're good at individual features, good at breaking things down, but they degrade codebase health over time. They need a human to catch the drift. The takeaway: stop asking whether frontier models can replace your engineering team. That's still no. The real question is, what does it take to get to yes? That's what makes SlopCodeBench so valuable. It finally gives us an honest signal. Follow for daily AI news, and you'll catch the next breakthrough in this race.